Hello. This is a question, a problem that we're faced with usually a couple of times a year. You're chugging along real nice. You just loaded in a new drawing DXF file or something, or you've been working away on an old file and everything's good, and then all of a sudden you really don't see it anymore. You go to Extents and it doesn't show up. And of course the question is, oh my God, how do I get it back? What can I do? So let's pull in a drawing that's in that condition. Extents problem. Okay, this is it. This drawing, there's a full drawing in here, but we're not seeing anything. Even if we go back and just do zoom extents again, we don't get it. The reason why is that we've got an entity or entities, some line, arc, point, whatever, so far away from the drawing, so far out in space compared to where the drawing is, that when it brings everything onto the screen, zooms extents, you don't really see the drawing anymore. It's so tiny. It would be in that. The first indicator, the first place to look is after you do the zoom extents, go up here and look at that cursor position. That cursor position is at thousands, 4,000 or so inches in both directions. This one's now 50 inches down here. It's obviously, there's something way out in space that's causing the extents to be gigantic. Okay, so let's see how you first find out what you're up against, that's it, and then what to do about it. First thing I do is I'll turn around, I'll say, try display default. Just bring me back to the plain old default screen, which is about, I don't quite remember, 30 inches wide, 30 inches high, or something like that. Okay, and look at that, bringing it back to default, actually got the drawing back on the screen here. Okay, so but there's still obviously something out there that's causing trouble. You can, if you want to see what's causing trouble, for what it's worth, you can do inquire and say list all entities. Okay, if you look here, let me just get back to the top of this because I was just doing this during a little dress rehearsal for this. Okay, if we look, so there's all the entities in this file, and if you just browse down quickly, it's not too hard to spot where all of a sudden, whoa, what happened here? All of a sudden we've got a Y of, all the other Y's are like 4 inches. This is 4,000 and something inches. So that's clearly the bad entity. There's definitely a bad line in there. How it got in there is usually, most of the time, it's a DXF file they imported and something funny had gone on. Could be the mistake. I know if you get a little crazy with the trimming command, you can get a funny line like that to turn up once in a while. If you kind of just start clicking away like, I don't know what I'm doing here, click, 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 as some people do when they get a little confused as to what's happening, that could cause it too. But anyhow, so we know it's in there. Now I've seen it. I know it's in there. All right, so what do I do to get rid of it? We've got a couple of things. Now, first of all, I just used the zoom default. That may or may not work. If you actually go back to because depending on where the bad entity is sitting, that may or may not help you. If I do extents again, now, if I look down here, there's actually a tiny little dot right here on the screen. Tiny little blue dot. There's a good chance that is probably the original drawing itself. So do a regular conventional zoom command, zoom window, and come over here and put the smallest window on here that you can. Oh, there, I got some of it. I can scroll down a little bit. There it is again. Okay. Whichever method you use to get it, now that you got it in front of you, you want to keep it, and you want to get rid of everything outside of that, away from that. Erase. Outside, frame it. That selected anything that was outside of the window I just showed it. Done. Okay to erase, yes. All right. Now if you try zoom extents, it's all there. You no longer have that funny entity sitting out there in space somewhere. That's it. Fairly simple problem, fairly simple solution. Comes up every once in a while. I thought it was worth a quick video. Thank you.